guys, I want to talk to you for a few minutes today about where you're going as a man. You say, what do you mean, where am I going? Am I lost? Well, I don't know. Let me ask you this. What's your purpose? You see, a lot of guys are living life in such a way that they're kind of missing out on their purpose. They think that life is all about a finish line. Life is all about getting to the goal. So they set a goal. I want to be a millionaire by this age, or I want to retire by this age. I want to own this. I want to be this successful. And those are all fine goals, but is that really what your purpose is in life? Because the problem with goals is you may or may not reach them. They're goals. But your purpose has to do with the journey. What kind of journey are you on? Where are you going as a man? I think of Marvel. I think of Thanos. Thanos had a goal. He wanted to basically obliterate half the universe, or the known universe or whatever. And of course, he snapped his fingers and he did. Hope I didn't spoil that for you. But, and they reversed it. But that was kind of his goal. So it was kind of wild that once he achieved it, what was left? But Thanos really didn't have a purpose other than just destruction. He thought he was doing the right thing, but look at the way he went about it. He just basically destroyed people. He destroyed civilizations. He was all about destruction. Now you say, well, he thought he was doing it for the right reason. Yeah, but look at that purpose and what it did to other people. You can argue about his goal all you want, but it wasn't good. And I think sometimes we as men, as we get things in our minds, we have to be this way. We have to do this. And so we kind of cause a lot of collateral damage because we're on our way to a goal. Like a man who wants to be successful in his company, he'll say, well, I got to work hard. I got to work hard. So he'll put in the 70 to 80 hour work weeks and neglect his family. Now he thinks in his mind he's doing it for his family, but they're missing him. So which one is better? The goal or the purpose? And that's what we want to do as men. We want to really think about that. So let me ask you this. How focused are you on your purpose? What are you doing? Like your marriage? Let's say if you're married, what's the purpose of your marriage? And you're like, well, I want to survive. I want to stay married. Is that really the purpose? Is the purpose not to kill each other? Is the purpose just to have sex once in a while? What's the purpose of marriage? If you've never really answered that question, then you may be kind of not doing the right thing. You may be getting into a really good partnership. Like one time my wife and I had that discussion. We got really good at being a couple, really good at managing our home and doing all this stuff. But the whole marriage aspect and the relational aspect was hurting. And so we had to talk about what that meant. And so I want to ask you and your wife may be very good at doing things, but is your marriage getting stronger? Do you have a closer relationship with her? Or are you still married and that's the goal? The goal is not to get divorced. And that's a good goal, but is that really what the purpose of your marriage is about? Because that's not real exciting. What about being a dad? What's the purpose of being a dad? Well, I want to make sure, one, my kids survive, that you don't hurt your kids or whatever. I want my kids to do well in school and then they go to college and they do all this. And you say, okay, well, what's the purpose of all that? So they can get out and get a good job. Okay, what's the purpose of that? So they can make money. So are you really raising your kids with the purpose of money? Well, no, I just want them to go to a good school. Well, that's fine, but why? What are you doing with your kids? How are you spending time with them? You see, a lot of dads that I know, they want their kids to make them look good. The purpose of their children is to make them look good as a dad. So they don't want to be embarrassed by their kids. They don't want their kids acting up in public. They want their kids making good grades and all that. Why? Because they want their kids to be a reflection of them. And that's a pretty bad purpose, because what you're doing is you're giving that child all the power over your life. Because he may make a bad decision, and if you let it reflect on you, then it's going to bring you down. Is that really the purpose of you being a dad? You see, you want to think about the why behind what you do. Now you say, David, all this stuff, it makes my head hurt. And I understand that. But as a man, if you really want to live what I call an adventure, you figure out the whys. You figure out why you're doing what you're doing. Why are you married? Why are you raising kids? Even if maybe you've gone through a divorce and you're a single dad, you still need to answer that question about your kids and your purpose. See, a lot of guys, they mess up or things happen, and so they think my purpose is gone. Well, it's not. Maybe you need to reframe and figure out what it is. Maybe you were shooting for the wrong goal. Or like a lot of guys today, your head's down and you're just digging. You're going. You're like, I just want to survive. I want to make it to the weekend. I want to make it to the holidays. And holidays are great. In fact, it's summer right now. And so a lot of people are on vacations. They're doing things. But I want you to have a higher purpose as a man than survival, than just making it. Because the truth is, if a man doesn't have a purpose, if he didn't have a reason for his journey, it can get ugly. You know, guys can be as self-centered as anybody. They can be selfish. They can be needy because they want life to owe them something. Have you ever seen those guys who just all of a sudden everything flips in their life? They may be married, kids, doing all that. Then one day they just run off with someone else. They leave their family and you think, whoa, what happened? And then you talk to them and they say things like, I deserve this. I'm just trying to have some fun. What that is a man who's lost his purpose. And so he's trying to find a purpose in all those other things. And those things just won't happen. So I want to challenge you today to take some time to review your life. Take some time to review. Maybe you've been living in survival mode for the last few years, maybe the last decade. Maybe it's been, I just want to make it to this time. I just want to make it to that time. And you know, there are busy seasons in life. There's no doubt. Everybody has them. But that's not really what life is all about. So I want you to think through some of those things. Hey, if you want some more tips and help, you can go to my website, davidthemaxwell.com. I've got all kinds of resources there to help you grow and live your adventure as a man. As I was making this video, it's just past July 4th. And when I think about July 4th, I think about the founding fathers. This group of men who decided to live for a purpose bigger than themselves. And if you think about what they did, a lot of them lost everything they owned in that. So at that time, someone could say their goal didn't get met. But look what happened. They created a country, an experiment that had never been done before. And this country has impacted millions around the world for good. Now, we've had our mess ups, we've had our situations, but no country has impacted the world in a more positive way than the United States. And that came about because a group of men decided to live on purpose. So I want to challenge you, find your purpose, start living on your purpose, and you're going to see some amazing things happen.